Hey, look who's here. The night owl who wanted to be a day owl, but actually is still a night owl. Jesus, 4 a.m.? Was I gone that long? What in God's name are you doing here so early?
Couldn't sleep, so I thought I might as well get some work done instead of just wandering around my apartment.
Here I thought you came in and showed the new bosses how hardworking you are. It makes the rest of us look like slackers, you know. You're gonna get us fired.
I am not. They're not going to fire you.
Hello? Our paper was bought out by a bigger paper and you don't think our jobs are at risk? That is some solid wishful thinking.
It was a merger, not a buyout. You're exaggerating.
Seriously? This is me being dramatic? Didn't they assign you a partner for your story?
Yes, but
So there you are. They do that when they want to compare how two different reporters write up the same story. Then they fire the ones whose story they like least.
what? I'm making that up.
No, I'm not. I've seen it happen.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Where were you tonight? Another homicide?
Yeah, the usual. A young gangbanger killed by another gangbanger. Mom shows up, falls to the ground, and screams about how he was just getting his life together, was about to enroll in community college, yada, yada, yada.
Get anyone to talk to you?
Are you kidding? Nobody saw nothing, the usual.
Glad I got out of that overnight shift. Those hours are brutal.
And yet it's the middle of the night and here you sit.
That's true. So, did I tell you my niece is leaving for deployment in 3 days?
Oh, geez, Emma. So soon? It seemed like only yesterday you were uneasy about her joining up. Is that why you're here? You worried for her?
Yes. No. I don't know.
It's good she has you to tell her what being in the military was like, right? You can help her adjust, know what to expect.
I don't think she wants to hear what I have to say about it.
What? You didn't like it?
It's not that. I mean, it was fine for me at the time, the structure is probably what I needed, plus the GI Bill helped me get my journalism degree, but still,
What?
she's going to a war zone, and I know what that's like. It's unpredictable. You may think you have a job safe on the base, but bombs can get you there too. She's like my own daughter, you know that, so the idea that she might not make it out.
You made it out.
Yes, I did.
Have you been sleeping better?
I'm here at 4 in the morning. What do you think?
Can't you see somebody about it? The nightmares, I mean?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm hoping it'll fade.
Emma, it's been how many years now since you got out?
13.
That's a long time. If you're still having trouble sleeping after 13 years,
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
okay. Do you know anything about your new partner?
No, not yet.
When does he or she start?
Tomorrow. Today. Later today.
Aren't you starting interviews this week with the witnesses to that kid disappearing at the march?
Yeah, the first one's tomorrow. Today.
You did all that research and they're just plopping someone in for the interviews.
Yeah, something like that. I'm going to set some ground rules, though. Let them know it's primarily my story.
I guess you had to learn to play well with others.
Some of us aren't meant to play with others.
I'm glad you took that story, though. I didn't want it assigned to me.
Why not?
I'd never be able to maintain any sort of professionalism in the interviews, especially with that mother.
What do you mean?
She took her baby to a riot, then she acts all surprised when the kid gets killed. If it were up to me, I'd bring manslaughter charges against her.
Manslaughter?
Or at least child endangerment.
Lil, she lost her child. I don't think that's what she meant to have happen when she left her house that day.
Darwinism, man. Natural selection is how our species weeds out the stupid.
So I take it you didn't support the protest march.
Honestly, all that noise and traffic disruption downtown, just so some suburban bitches can get their steps in and feel like they've done something. When has protesting ever made a difference whatsoever?
Um, Civil rights, women's vote.
Yeah, okay. But recently, with this administration, they don't care about what the people think about them. They're getting theirs, and the rest of us can all go to hell. All those protests, and they seem to be every week, just end up costing the rest of us extra money for the overtime for the foot cops. Then, when they get out of hand, which they're bound to eventually, who are you interviewing first?
I double booked the organizer of the protest march with the cop who was with the mother when the child was found.
Oh, you are sly. You want to get a rise out of them, don't you?
I just want to see if there's any unstated tensions between them. I know some people from the other group are blaming the other one for what happened, so I just want to see how they react to each other.
Are we going to need security?
They'll be fine. What? Aren't you gonna stay and write up your piece?
I could do it in my sleep. I'll be writing almost the exact same thing 300 other times with these gang hits. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody saw a thing. Whatever. You should go home and rest for a few hours. Don't you want to be alert when your eager new partner arrives?
Nah, I'm okay. I want to be prepared for this interview. Besides, I'm used to operating on only a couple of hours of sleep a night.
Girl, that is not a healthy lifestyle. Oh, Charlie's so sweet. He packs me lunch for work every night. But you think after 8 years, he would know when I'm on a diet. Do you want any of this?
Maybe. I am kind of hungry. What do you got?
An apple and some pudding.
What kind of pudding?
Chocolate.
I will take the apple.
You don't want the pudding? It's unopened.
Nah, I don't like chocolate pudding.
How can you not like chocolate pudding? It's the best. What other kinds are there?
There are lots of flavors. There's vanilla, pistachio, rice, I think.
Rice. How is rice a flavor?
Good question. I think it's maybe just vanilla with rice in it. I don't know why.
Why would anyone put rice? You know what? Whatever. Weird world out there. Here.
Thanks.
Sure. I'm out. Good luck with your new partner. I'm looking forward to hearing what a pain in the ass he is.
Oh, yeah, I'll let you know. Good night.
Good morning and good luck. You need it.
Good morning. Hello, I'm Isabelle Arcos. I'm your new partner. I was told you were working on a story already.
Yeah.
Can you bring me up to par?
I think I should let you know first that I'm not used to working with a partner. I've always worked alone, and it's what I prefer, actually.
I get it. I worked alone too, before the merger. I mean, at my old paper.
So in light of this being new for both of us, then I think we should be as open and frank with each other as possible.
I agree.
I know some reporters have a tendency to hold things close to the chest, and obviously as partners, we can't do that.
Agreed. 100%.
Now, do you remember hearing about the child who was killed at the march downtown 2 weeks ago?
Of course. I mean, you couldn't miss it. Everyone is still talking about it.
And that's the problem. There are all sorts of rumors and perspectives flying around about what happened. So we're going to gather some firsthand accounts and see if we can't get a fuller story about it.
Sounds good.
The thing is, if there are two of us asking questions, it might get confusing for the subjects about who to direct the responses to. So to keep this from becoming an issue, I would like for you to take notes while I conduct the interviews. Here are the files I've collected so far.
Wow. There's a lot of information here.
I do my research.
Just so you know, I tend to work more organically, but I can see how your way and my way can complement each other.
Yeah, okay, but I still need you to sit in the background and listen. Some of these people we're going to be talking to over the next couple days are very eager to tell their stories, some less so. But I need you to just watch out for those unconscious biases that color their stories, the ones that they don't want us to hear. While I conduct the interview and get them to tell us the story, they do want us to hear. So it'll be your job to observe the subjects and get a take on their overall demeanor.
I can do that, but I will have questions of my own.
I prefer you don't. I've spent weeks preparing these interviews, trying to find the right way to ask and reveal these people's
I
stories.
appreciate that. Look, I can see that you're a preparation reporter. The basis of your approach is research, and I applaud that. I really do. I'm a different kind of reporter. This is gonna sound hippie and unprofessional, but it works. I use the person's energy to lead the conversation. So if they're combative and aggressive, I push back because it's in the fight that they want to express what they are feeling. If they're sad, I cry with them. It's a really humanistic way of relating, connecting, and it works.
Blurs lines. We're not here as reporters to connect. That's what a therapist is for. We're here to bring the story to our readers, to help them understand.
Yes, exactly. And on a human level, emotionally connecting is understanding. Our readers are not robots. They don't operate their lives on facts as much as they sometimes think they do. So much of what we do, what anybody does, is directed by our emotions. And there is no greater trigger of emotions than other people.
I don't know about this.
Let's try it. You lead the interviews. I'll come in with my approach when I see an opening. That way you can do what is comfortable for you, and I'll still get what I feel like I need. Instead of a good cop, bad cop, it'll be fact reporter, field reporter. How does that sound?
I guess that sounds okay. I mean, what choice do I have? We're not here to pass any judgment on you. I think that if more is known about you and your story, the public won't be so quick to condemn you. And maybe you can forgive yourself.
The thing is, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I wanted to make a pudding pie. I always like pudding, so I thought it would make me feel better, so I went. And when I was there, I found myself standing in front of the shelf with all the pudding mixes, looking at all the different kinds and thinking, why are there so many different kinds of pudding? I couldn't make a decision about which one to choose. I thought, what does it fucking matter? Do people really agonize over what kind of pudding to make? Did I used to care about stuff like that? And when I got to the checkout, there was a woman in front of me and she was digging in her purse for coupons or something. And in her cart, in the little seat thing, there was a little girl. And she was about my daughter's age. And I just wanted to scream at this woman. You don't even know. When you go to the parking lot with all your bags and your back is turned, putting all your stuff in the car, your beautiful daughter could stand up in the cart and fall out head first and smash her brains out on the cement. And here you are, having wasted all this time fooling around with your purse instead of looking at her and talking to her and feeling her soft cheeks and smelling that baby smell that always seems to be there, even when, no matter how dirty the rest of her body is. Those are the kinds of thoughts I have to deal with when I want to make a pudding pie.
I'm so sorry.
The woman asked me at checkout if I wanted paper or plastic or if I brought my own bag, and I just stared at her. I couldn't even answer. I just couldn't fathom why it would even matter. I see you have a yellow ribbon on your coat. Do you know someone in the military?
Yes, my niece. She left for the Middle East this morning.
You must be very proud of her.
I am.
I'm proud of her for giving herself to serve our country.
Yes.
So let's say the worst happens and she gets killed. I'm not saying it will. But what if something happens and she comes home in a box? What will they say about her, about her mother? Will they say that her mother failed her? That she should have talked her daughter out of it? No, I'm sure they won't. They'll say how selfless her mother was for giving her child to be sacrificed for the good of the country, that it was a noble death. Nobody will talk about how the pile of dead there just keeps getting bigger, that it's a quagmire that we can't get out of, but we also can't win. But a child dies in the act of exercising the same rights that your niece is fighting for, and her mother was a fool for taking her there.
It's not the same. My niece is an adult.
Okay. Then let's say it was me who died. Do you think that the talking heads would find that more palatable? Would consider it a good death? Or would they say that I shouldn't have been there in the first place, that I deserved what I got?
I don't know what they would say. I don't even know who they are.
Yes, you do. They're our neighbors. They're the lady at the dry cleaners, the guy who approves loans at the bank. They're the guidance counselors at school. They're everybody who thinks they know what's going on in another person's life based only on what they know from their own lives.
I don't think everybody.
Well, then you're not paying attention. I used to see people in the public acting weird and being crazy and out of it, and I got annoyed at them. I judged them. But now I know that nobody has any idea what anyone else is going through.
Miss Pickle, I know you're upset, but I'm here to help. I just need a little bit more information. Do you think you can do that?
I'll try.
Good, thank you. About how much time passed until you noticed that your daughter was missing?
I don't know. I just stood there staring at nothing for what seemed like a minute, and eventually I looked down to see if my baby was reacting the way I was, and she wasn't there.
Was the stroller missing?
No. The stroller, the sign on the stroller, all of that was still there. Even the buckles were still clicked together. It was like she had vanished or dissolved. I called for her, screaming, until a policewoman came over to help me.
That was Officer Pikowski.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. I never caught her name, but she stayed with me until we got word on the police radio that they'd found her. I had to go and see the body to make sure it was her. Everyone was worried about me seeing her dead, but I told them that I was her mother and that I should do it. I mean, who else was there?
Is there anything else you can recall about what you saw before or during the chaos of that day? anything at all that might offer some lead to shed light on what happened?
No, there's nothing. I've been over and over it again in my head. I relive it every night when I try to sleep. And there's nothing that I remember about the last moments of my child's life that is going to answer the question about why she died. Nothing at all.
Okay. Miss People, please know that we're doing everything we can to try to shed some light on what happened. And we are doing it without judgment about you, or your actions, or your choices.
If you say so, I wish I could believe that.
Katie, I want to let you know that you're not alone. We all have our own personal reasons for wanting to find who did this. Can I share something with you? My brother Charlie is 5 years younger than me. And I remember when I was 7, he was 2, we went on a family trip to Six Flags. It was summer, so hot. Everybody was in a bad mood because we put off lunch because the lines were so long. My mom and dad were going back and forth. The other wasn't helping enough with us kids, just bickering back and forth. And during all of that, my brother slipped away. Mom thought dad had him, vice versa. It was a full 10 minutes before anyone realized he was missing.
Oh no.
And the panic began. It stands out in my memory because I have never seen my dad freak out like that before, or since, for that matter. He was a madman, possessed. He couldn't even form full sentences. The look of pure terror on his face. He kept asking me what Charlie was wearing. Like me, as a 7-year-old, would have paid any attention to details like that. His panic was so palpable. I remember the taste of pennies in my mouth. My mom was slightly more composed. Managed to flag down a security guard who called in a fairly accurate description on his walkie-talkie to everyone all over the park. Charlie was found, of course, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes later, but my dad still talks about that moment that he realized my brother was missing as his tiny glimpse into what hell is like. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that when people lash out at you, it is possible that they aren't thinking of you as a person going through so much, but as a messenger of a hell that they'd rather not be reminded is out there. And you know what they do to messengers these days.
That is why we're here, to remind everyone who reads this piece in the paper that there is more than one victim deserving of our compassion. Consider us on your side.
One more thing.
Yes.
My mind keeps going around and around, and I keep asking myself, am I still a mother?
What do you mean?
I was a mother when I had a child, but now that she's gone, what does that make me? What happens when the defining thing, the thing that makes you what you are, isn't there anymore? Who are you then?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Bafford, and I will be playing Lillian. And I've been acting for about 3 years now, and I have done plenty of workshops and within video, theater work, and also commercials.
My name is Rachel Bloomstrom, and I am playing Emma Shriver in The Future. I have been acting off and on since high school many years ago. I also have a background in improv and music and writing and painting. I'm an interdisciplinary artist. And I have my BA from the University of Houston and my MFAW from the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. And I like dogs and cats.
Hi, my name is Samantha Vossmeyer. I'm playing Isabelle from The Future. I'm a Chicago-based actor and producer. I've been here for 10 years. I love this city, and I'm so excited to be making art in the middle of these crazy times.
My name is Presley Renner. I'm a Chicago and New York-based actor. I am excited to be a part of this. I'm playing Katie, and my website is presleyrenner.com.
Hi, I'm Kim Frere, and I'm the writer of The Future. I'm so grateful for the opportunity that the Women's Theater Alliance has gifted me to develop and explore the world of this play. Our current world confuses me, thrills me, and enrages me all at the same time, and I try to bring those emotions and thoughts to the page for the stage. The supportive environment of the WTA was instrumental in this process. Thank you, Denise and Valerie, my fellow writers, our actors, and all of the amazing women at WTA for working so hard to raise the voices and experiences of Chicago women to the light.